Alright, Geordie Prepper here. I just want to talk about Prepper2020, new campaign that I'm doing for this year. But really, it's to take prepping into the next decade, I hope. But before we start, if you're producing videos, make sure that the feckin' microphone and recording is actually recording your audio. Because I just did a 20-minute version of it and I wasn't recording the audio. So yeah, do a test, listen to it back, and make sure your microphone's getting it back. Right, Prepper2020. So what the feck is it? Right. So this year has already got off to a pretty interesting start. I think more people are going to come to the prepping community. So basically, anybody with an audience. So I'm looking towards you guys with the bigger channels. If you've got an audience, chances are more people are going to be coming to it because of events that are going to be happening both now and in the future. Prepper2020 is about communicating better in the community, getting people better prepared. It runs alongside Check Your Preps. Check Your Preps is moving to March on the first month of Check Your Preps, and then October's staying the same. October Check Your Preps. So basically, the two run together, but Prepper2020 is specifically a campaign to get preppers communicating to each other. So if you guys, anyone with a prepper channel, let's get together and talk. There's a prepper Discord channel. Get in there. Let's see what we can do. Let's put our heads together. Let's get the community, the prepper community, better prepared. Let's get communicating with each other more, collaborating with each other, making sure that as one community, we're representing to anyone who's outside of the prepping community, representing the prepper community itself in the best way that we can be. Let's show people that all the negative press before this year, let's just fucking wipe that out and, make sure that people see that prepping is not only sensible, it's responsible, it's prudent, it's something that people, if they have any sort of regard for themselves or others, that it's a very good thing to do. It's a selfless way to be. It's like all preppers that I've seen are very generous with both the time and the preps, and they're very, very generous with the information. I mean, we could just keep this stuff to ourselves, but no, we get out there, we represent, and we teach people that how good a thing prepping is. So let's get people better prepared. Prepper2020 also specifically to people coming into prepping. I mean, I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes with my channel. So I've been going through the videos and putting in tags. If you have any videos or any specific information which you think helps people coming into prepping, you could put the Prepper2020 tag on it, because you can search on YouTube under tags. So for instance, if you type in hashtag Check Your Preps, anybody who's been involved with Check Your Preps, if they've put that on their video in the title, in the description, or in the tags, all the relevant videos will come up. So if you do produce videos, just one tip for YouTube, make sure your tags are relevant. So I've been doing some background work on my channel up to now this year. and I'm updating the tags and making them more relevant rather than generic. So yeah, the information in the Prepper community, let's make sure that it's accessible to people coming into prepping. That's one thing Prepper2020 is about. I made an acronym which is to help both at an individual level and at a group level. And also, you guys, like, I want feedback on Prepper2020, and also this acronym that I've made. If you've got a better one, then let me know. We'll change it, because as you'll see on the last one, evaluate. Prepper2020 is about monitoring, evaluating, making adjustments, concessions. Adding in new things which are of greater benefit. So yeah, I mean, I want feedback from all this, so don't be shy. Shy Ben's getting out. So the first one on the list, cardio. From an individual perspective, for myself as well, fitness is the number one prep, I believe. If I don't have my fitness, I can't prep, basically. The plans that I have to bug out won't happen. The amount of weight that's in my bug out bag, I can't carry. So to motivate myself to be a better prepper, I'm working on my fitness as always. So cardio, basically C. And the acronym is CARE, C-A-R-E. I chose this also because prepping, it's not just caring for yourself, it's caring for others. So, it's to maintain the integrity of your life, essentially, prepping, from my perspective anyways. But it's also the maintenance and preservation of a life as well. I mean, not just human. So fitness, number one prep. From a group perspective, I just put communication. Because that's something that I want the prepper community to get involved more in. Even creating our own secure communication pathways, for want of a better word right now. I can't really think. I've done this video 3 times, so our verbal skills and vocabulary has already been used up, so forgive me. Yeah, communication. Communication pathways, ways to securely communicate with the prepper community. I think that would be a good idea. If anybody listening could actually make that happen, I mean, especially if it works off grid as well, that would be amazing. But there's also another project which I'm working on, which will help preppers communicate with each other. But I'll be doing that. I'm still working on that. So once it's ready, I'll show you guys what it is. Yeah, so to make Prepper2020 happen, to make any sort of prepping happen, you have to action it. So the A is for action. Make it happen. Make a list, make a checklist, whatever, visualize it in some way, the action that you want to get done, and do it. It can be very satisfying to see a checklist getting ticked off, that you've done each particular aspect that you wanted to. The next one on your list is something to aim for. The previous one on your list is something that you've done. It's out of your mind, it's done. And you can move on to the next bit. and it can be very satisfying to see a checklist getting done. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a checklist, not just for my prepping, but for my channel. I've got a list of videos. This is one of them. When I've done this video, I check it off and I go to the next one. You know, it's quite satisfying. To do any sort of actions, it can help to get into a routine. So I put that as the next one. Get into a routine, but make it a healthy routine. So a healthy routine is one that has balance. Obviously, there might be some aspects which take up a greater proportion of your time. That's still balance. You know, balance doesn't mean having everything even. You do have to have a higher level of time committed to certain areas of your life, which makes up a routine. So, you know, don't just think that balance means everything even. It's not. But the balance has to be, it has to be a healthy balance. So if one particular aspect of your routine is having a negative effect on another, then obviously you need to balance that and adjust it. Within a group, it could be harder, it could be easier to maintain a routine and balance. It would depend on who's in your group. But within a group, I basically put like you would be assigning roles, assignments, responsibilities to different people. You might want to put several assignments and responsibilities across multiple people, just to maintain the integrity and continuation of a certain aspect in your group. Like for instance, if you had someone in your group or numerous people in your group that were very good at first aid, you'd obviously want to make sure that there's somebody available to do first aid across 24 hours of the day. You wouldn't just want to have one individual doing first aid, because obviously they'd have to have downtime. The last one is to evaluate everything that you're doing previously and make an action plan for the future. So monitor and adjust any and all areas when appropriate, and where appropriate, make adjustments, which that would go back to your routine, and then you would action that. Where appropriate, be honest. I mean, it only works if you're honest. You had to have, if you come into prepping, or if you're already a prepper, you would have had to have been honest with yourself in the first place to realize that prepping is what you need, and that it's a good call. It's a good thing to bring into your life. You have to be brutally honest, and this is an exercise I would actually take up, and I have talked about this a long time ago in a video. If you're thinking about prepping or being a prepper, or if you already are a prepper, you've got to be brutally honest about what is in your life. Is it a positive? Is it a negative? If it's a negative, it's the best course of action, I think. If you are honest, and if this thing is a detriment to yourself, to making you a better version of yourself, then remove it, no matter what it is. So one thing that I did was I did this from a material point of view, just stuff. I mean, not that I had a massive amount of stuff. material objects, but I did what some people call like a reset of your life. So I basically, every material thing that I had, I held it in my hand and I said, if I had to leave my home, would this help me? Yes or no? If it was a no, then I did something else with it. If it was a yes, I kept it. Some things of a sentimental value, you know, if they're to do with like your family history or anything like that, photographs. I built protecting them into my preps. So, you know, you could do the same. But even then, you might have to be very particular about what you do protect. Because obviously, anything that you keep always part of your preps. And something which I don't think many preppers think about is that even your preps are a burden on you. They add an element of a variable which could at any point set in motion a sequence of events which could lead to either a positive or a negative. So even your preps do weigh on your mind and they cause stress. But if you've got a lot of material objects which you're particularly, you know, you don't want to lose, then you've really got to evaluate that and maybe adjust, you know, how you think about all this stuff. I mean, people put themselves at risk for, you know, material objects. They put themselves in physical harm's way. Like if somebody has to leave their home, they'll often go back for the stupidest of things. And more often than not, it's something of a material value. They may just pick something up which doesn't help them. It's never ever going to help them. It was much more of a risk to go back and get this thing than it was to have it with them. So yeah, you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. Evaluate all aspects, no matter what they are, and just ask yourself, you know, is this a good thing in my life? Is this a positive thing for my preps? Is this a good thing to get me to a better version of myself? Am I being supported in the process that I'm doing? If not, then you've really got to consider removing it from your life or making an adjustment with it. Maybe rethink various aspects of your life. You know, prepping's not a thing to go into lightly. I think most people that are into prepping are already awake. They're already more aware of what's happening, and that can clash with other things in your life and other people a lot of the time as well. So yeah, so yeah, guys, that's basically Prepper2020. I'm motivating myself. And I'm getting motivation from other areas as well. The Prepper community is obviously a big part of this, so thanks for listening. If you did make it this far in the video, let's have a word in the comments. Let's have a word. Put IFAC. So individual first aid kit, IFAC. If you got this far in the video, put IFAC in the comments, just so I know that you did. Yeah, if you have like I said, if you have an audience, if you want to get if you want to help with Prepper2020, then please do so. I'm just a small channel, but I'm really, really, really grateful for everybody who stops by the channel, who watches my videos. I've got some goals for the channel this year. I've got an idea of where I want it to be. I'll be honest with you guys, the channel isn't where I want it. It never has been. Well, it has. A couple of years ago, I was happy with it. And things were going well, like I was producing the videos. But I'll be honest with you guys, the channel is 7 years old and it hasn't got to the point that I'm happy with it. And I'm the biggest critic of my work. If people put like a negative comment on my videos, it doesn't bother me because everything they say I've already thought about. I'm already kicking myself about. I'm already, I've already thought about it. So it is going to be much better this year, the channel. I've got some things behind the scenes to do with my computing equipment, which is going to make a really big difference, simply from the production side. So in that regard, yeah, the channel is going to be better. But anyways, I'm waffling on. Stick IFAQ in the comments if you got to the end of the video. Be safe, be prepared, check your preps. If you've got any comments about this or Prepper2020 as a whole, or just anything, as always, I love reading people's comments. So I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.